Yes, Padilla detainment is on the docket as well. There was a person who was arrested, by the way, which is insane. Alejandro Theodora Orellana was arrested this morning by FBI Los Angeles on an allegation of conspiracy to commit civil disorder for distributing face shields to suspected rioters on Tuesday. We are moving quickly to identify and arrest those involved in organizing and or supporting civil disorder in Los Angeles. This is insane, okay? This is actually insane. The fact that they are trying to prosecute people for doing mutual aid at a fucking protest is so psychotic. And it's funny enough, it's something that I actually addressed when friend of the show, Alex Michelson, was also freaking out about when he was like, oh, these guys are very well organized. They're trying to, like, even liberals themselves think that this is illegal. It is not illegal to hand out masks at a fucking protest. If you don't understand how insane this is, if you do not comprehend what is going on here, I don't know what to tell you. Here, this is what I said. Breaking. We just saw people arrive in downtown LA with trucks loads of bionic face shields that demonstrators quickly grabbed. It certainly seems like gear you'd wear while you're preparing for a conflict with police. Who's funding this? I said, Alex, this is for basic safety that mutual aid groups hand out alongside ear protection, respirators, and goggles. It is to ensure people aren't harmed by cops shooting projectiles. And he said, thank you. Now this is now officially being seen as a felony in the eyes of the state. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. This is a normal, basic function of protest. It's a good thing that people are doing this. It's for safety. It is for safety. And now the fascist administrative state has decided that basic mutual aid is a fucking crime. Do you understand how insane this is? Like, think about all the people that we see doing mutual aid at these protests, people that go out, buy, pallets of water to hand out to protesters so they're not dehydrated, or people who hand out goggles, people who hand out respirators, people who hand out ear protection so that your earlobes don't implode when they're deploying explosive ordnance. What a psychotic situation this is. Like, criminalizing mutual aid is the next step in the depravity from this administration.
Where it just feels like something's going to happen and you're waiting for it to happen. And you can look around, you see the National Guard in front of the federal building, but as far as this intersection where we're seeing all this take place, there's no local...
I was out handing medical supplies, ear protection, and Peaceful. We got arrested illegally for no reason, and there were multiple Hasanabi heads with me. I think you watched us getting kettled live. I can't imagine if I got charged with something more for handing out those earplugs. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable. This is completely unacceptable. This is very, very dangerous. Every single fucking liberal needs to recognize how dangerous this is.
Police to be seen. Yeah. And we have people handing out masks and gas masks, and we just saw people graffitiing the sidewalk right in front of this truck, and we've seen people doing burnouts in the street, and there's no local law enforcement around.
Let us clarify, because...
That's not true. There's a tremendous amount of local law enforcement around. It's just that they're too busy beating the shit out of marchers to I guess, like, tackle graffiti. There's laws that state I legally have to respond to emergencies as a nurse, and now I can't at protests. Yeah, it's like, the fuck?
We've been showing a wide shot and from a different angle, a whole lot of officers on the other side of the federal building, almost behind you, and perhaps the visual is obstructed from your point of view. But I can tell you there are many, many, many LAPD cars and officers there that have staged. They are blocking that freeway overpass, so protesters can't get on that overpass like they did yesterday.
This is the same vein as cops arrest grandmas for passing out pizza to people waiting in line to vote. Only one party does both that, and arrest people who help protest is insane. Like, there are laws around. There are some laws that are understandable around electioneering, right? Like, that's understandable, okay? But this is not one of those instances. This is very clearly, very deliberately designed to make people not have any protection whatsoever when they are protesting against not only the elements, but also cops. Like, they have all the gear. They have riot shields. They have weapons. They have explosive ordinances that they are using on protesters. Of course, for peaceful protesters to not get hit with fucking projectiles is a good thing. Like, this isn't even reaching a level of parity between protesters, the civilians, unarmed civilians, and the heavily militarized police. This is simply like just basic protection so that when a dumbass cop is shooting you with a 40 millimeter projectile rubber bullet in the head, you don't have that. You don't have your eye taken out. You know what I mean? It's the state basically saying no amount of self-defense in this process is legal. You have to sit there and you have to die. Yeah, but the protesters not vomiting and blindly stumbling in the traffic hurts the feeling of cops. They put a lot of effort into firing those chemical weapons to cause those things. They might cry if it doesn't work. Exactly. Like, this isn't even, you know, they're not giving weapons out, okay? They're giving basic protective gear. That's insane.
And throw bricks or concrete or scooters down on law enforcement that was below that had cleared the 101 freeway. So perhaps they're not where you are, but there's a lot of them already positioned there. They're not getting caught off guard by a crowd gathered here.
So, I mean, that was quite a shot that we have there of these folks, and your photographer just gave us a great shot of the box that was left behind, which showed the brand of mask. I mean, it's not the kind of thing, thank you for seeing this there. It looks like a bionic shield.
Yeah, it's specifically so people's eyes don't pop out of their head when cops shoot them with projectiles. The government, basic mutual aid for unarmed civilian protesters having their on a cop and the militarized police. 40 millimeter projectiles, explosive ordinances. Please use 40 millimeter projectiles, explosive ordinances, and chemical weapons while they're in lawful exercising. They're criminalizing basic mutual aid for unarmed civilian protesters to shield themselves from having their eyes shot out of their heads when the militarized police use 40 millimeter projectiles, explosive ordinances, and chemical weapons. Peepaw drafts a tweet ASMR. This is crazy. It is showing how you don't growth President Trump had in the four after the election got stolen. The first time it took him 4 years to get this kind of protest. Now it only took months. Wait. Oh, yeah. Why am I taking the apostrophe away? Because their word count.
Describe where it just feels like something's going to happen.
This is genuinely messed up.